So should people be aware cameras are on? Like cameras are on.
Jaden Smith is gay.
Oh.
His first lover was Tyler, the Creator.
Jaden, come on. Are you okay?
Will on his son. You kiss my son. Daddy, you can't do that no more, baby.
Come on.
Because the little boy was pushing his face like.
So we really need to talk about this disturbing situation with Will Smith and his son Jaden. And look, this isn't some brand new rumor, but lately more insiders have been coming forward with stories about Will, and honestly, it's getting really concerning. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to accuse Will of anything, but at the same time, when you keep seeing the same pattern over and over, and multiple people are coming forward with the same kind of stories, we at least have to start asking some uncomfortable questions. So, as you probably already know, Will and Jada have been dragged for years because of their marriage drama. But now rumors are starting to pop up that these two exposed their children, Jaden and Willow, to some seriously crazy stuff in that house. And then on top of all that, stories came out claiming that Will and Jada allegedly threw these ritualistic parties at their house with young men they mentored. But now, there's an even darker theory about Will. And I'm talking about allegations that Will did something really messed up to Jaden. A lot of fans think this is the real reason Jaden tried to legally separate from his parents when he was only 15. Oh, and by the way, do you remember when Will slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars? And right after it happened, Jaden tweeted, "And that's how we do it." I've honestly always felt like people didn't talk about this enough. Like, okay, maybe Jaden was just being cocky or whatever, but at the same time, it's a weird way to react to watching your dad physically hit someone on live TV over a joke. And what do you mean that's how we do it? Like, is that something Jaden saw happen inside that house? But then, another even more disturbing theory started making the rounds, claiming that Will might have done something unspeakable to Jaden. And this theory really started gaining traction after all those videos resurfaced of Will forcing a kiss on Jaden. Now, when Jaden was really young, people didn't really think anything of it. But then Jaden got older, and Will just kept doing it, even when Jaden was already a teenager.
Nah, really. We're very affectionate.
Have you ever,
We're very affectionate.
He tried to kiss me in the
Have you ever kissed your son on Thai television before?
You're not looking kiss
Can
my
you kiss
son.
your Thai on Thai
I
television?
can kiss my son. Jaden, come on. You know I love him, Ellen. I love him. I mean, my baby boy, he's never leaving me ever. Ever. No emancipation for the Smith kids.
It's peinlich. Komm mal her.
Come on. Jaden.
Jaden.
Keep a smile. Just keep a smile.
Now, I'm not saying these videos are proof that Will did something sinister to Jaden, but I just don't get why you would do that to your own son when you can clearly see how uncomfortable he looks. I can't even imagine how awkward that had to be. Will kissing Jaden like that on the mouth, knowing there are like 20 people standing around them taking pictures? And let's be real, how many dads do you know who kiss their teenage son on the lip? Also, if this were Willow and Will was grabbing her and forcing a kiss like that, people would lose their minds. And rightfully so. So why is it suddenly okay when it's Jaden, just because he's a boy? Now, Will did eventually stop with that kissing stuff, but only after the backlash got so loud that people started wondering if something even worse was happening behind closed doors. And those rumors really blew up when Jaguar Wright publicly claimed that both Will and Jada are bi, and that they've done some wild things with other men right in front of Jaden and Willow.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
Jaguar also said she feels bad for Jaden and Willow because they must have seen some really weird stuff go down in that house, which is probably why Jaden wanted to run away and get emancipated at 15.
But Jaden's kind of MIA, and considering that he emancipated from their household at 16 and refused to come back even to do family interviews. You know?
Yeah.
Willow's just kind of, she's dope. Too much shit happened in that fucking house. Too much happened in that house.
She also added that Jaden was touched by Will and Jada.
Who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son and you ain't do shit about it? Bilal told me everything.
And now Orlando Brown has also backed up these allegations, and he hinted that Will may have turned Jaden out.
You're asking me about secret homosexuality.
So should people be aware cameras are on? Like cameras are on.
Jaden Smith is gay. He got out there and then Will was like, you're my son, bro. You can have your feelings, but you can't be out here like that. He stopped it, shut it down. Dig it? This is not for people to take lightly.
But this isn't just about whether Will and Jaden prefer men or women. It's much, much darker than that. Listen carefully to what Orlando said in this interview.
You ever heard of Panda? Like I was telling you, Panda. So you got Panda Panda is a secret code for a certain thing. And so when it comes down to that certain thing, it's so. What it is you basically have a certain nerve in your rectum, and if you touch that nerve, the eyes come out, and they call them panda eyes. And they do this so you see people with these cigars, and they're you know, all these big celebrities, they all have the cigar in common. That's that big thing between their legs that they're sticking in, and it's one big society of it. Now, when it comes down to the selling of the, there's shipping and trafficking, a private little beach full of celebrities and bodies getting screwed, and nobody cares because they're supposed to be dead.
And what's crazy is that Orlando has been saying this for years, even before the whole thing about the island was even public information. Now, going back to Will, we also have to talk about some other allegations that surfaced about his behavior around young men. Back in January, a male violinist filed a lawsuit against Will, claiming that he was manipulating him and trying to pressure him to be intimate. Professional violinist Brian King Joseph alleged in his complaint that Will was deliberately and priming him for further sexual exploitation after he was invited to join Will's global tour based on a true story 2025. Joseph described a traumatic series of events that allegedly took place in March 2025 during Will's tour, and claimed that he discovered someone had entered his Las Vegas hotel room and left a weird note that said, "Brian, I'll be back, just us," with a drawn heart, signed Stone F. Joseph also alleged that this person left a bunch of bizarre items in his room, including wipes, a beer bottle, a red backpack, a bottle of HIV medication with another individual's name, an earring, and hospital discharge paperwork belonging to someone Joseph didn't even know. Joseph claims he was afraid that whoever broke into his room would come back and try to hurt him, so he reported the incident to hotel staff, a local non-emergency police line, and Will Smith's management team. But according to Joseph's complaint, a member of Will's tour management team shamed him and then told him he was being let go. And if this was the first time Will had been accused of something like this, maybe people wouldn't even think twice about it, but that isn't the case. We've been hearing this same kind of talk about Will for years now. Remember when comedian Bert Kreischer claimed that back when he was just starting out in the industry, he got an invite to audition for a project with Will's company? Bert said Will invited him to see a movie, but when he told his dad about it, his dad warned him that Will probably had other intentions.
They sit 2 chairs in the middle of a dance studio, facing 2 folding chairs in the middle of a dance studio, facing each other, and they're like, "We'll be in a second." I sat with the chair with my back to the door. I didn't know what door he was coming in. And he walked in behind me, and I could feel his energy. And he liked me. He was like, "Let's go see a movie." I was like, "Okay."
You guys went to a movie?
I called my dad, and I got in the car. My dad goes, "How'd it go?" It went great. He was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, we're going to the movies." My dad's like, "What?" I go, "We're going to the movies." And he was like, "Want a date?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I don't know. I really didn't ask." Like, I was just needing. And he was like, "What do you mean? Like, what? You and him are going to the movies together?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." And I was like, "It's at Planet Hollywood." And he was like, "They have a movie theater there?" I was like, "Dad, I don't know. Maybe we'll go get lunch there and dinner, and then we'll go to the movies." And he was like, "Oh, buddy, he's trying to f*** you." And I was like,
Now fast forward to 2020, and YouTuber Trisha Paytas made similar allegations, and she claimed Will forced himself on her male dancers without their consent. And yes, these are just allegations. But also, why do the same types of stories keep popping up around Will? And it's from different people who don't even know each other, all alleging the same things. Now, a lot of fans are connecting the dots and saying that Jaden's behavior really does seem like some type of trauma response. And of course, we can't make any claims without proof. But on the other hand, knowing what we know about Hollywood, you really can't put anything past anybody at this point. But let me know what you think. Are people reading too much into Will and Jaden's behavior? Or do you think there could be some truth to these allegations that Will did something sinister to Jaden? Drop your comments below and stay tuned for the next video.